Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a GOSU Gamers replay sent to me by Lazarus. And it's going to be Sziky versus Rams here on Longinus. And there we go, production tab. Oh, this was played before. You could mark yourself an observer before the game started. So Yoda has to kill his SCVs and hide his command center. Top of the corner, we have the orange Terran player Rams. And in the bottom right side, not bottom right, it is the purple Zerg player Sziky, who is Hungarian, who has been featured on the channel before. I always like it when some of these GOSU games feature players that I've seen before and I'm familiar with. If you're unfamiliar with the GOSU Gamers replay tag, it just means that for some reason this replay was determined GOSU by the community in general. I don't know why in particular in this match, but in the past it's been the use of Dark Archons to create Zerg armies, personal Zerg armies for the Protoss. In times it's come down to the entire map is mined out, and other times it's been other crazy stuff. Rams here, I'm actually looking him up at the same time. He is a Russian Terran player. So it is Russia versus Hungary here. And again, I don't know why it's GOSU, but I trust Lazarus with my life at this point. This pack is serious business. I believe we're going to get there. Is it battle cruisers versus Zerg? Maybe. We've actually seen those, though. I cast a game featuring Nada and Rhett, I want to say. Boy, that was a great game. With battle cruisers against Zerg. Tons of fun there. So that could be what it is. It could be like a really weird strategy, mass Valkyrie and Marine or something like that. I don't know. I'm very excited to see what we get, though. Regardless, it looks like about a 12 pool. Yep, from Sziky. Just building his barracks in home. Here is Rams. Longinus, I believe, is a 3-player map. I've cast a game on this before, and yeah, there's your spawning location. There's one, and there's one down to the south. SCV comes in for the scout, sees the hatch timing, and says, yeah, there's no lings on the way. Don't have to worry about walling off right now. At the very least, it is a bit of a wide wall off, but really not too bad compared to other maps for sure. And I don't think Ram should be in any trouble whatsoever. No gas here from the Zerg player. I don't think he's planning on being all that aggressive, not getting speed anytime soon at the very least. Might be going, actually, for as that command center goes down, might be going for like a 3-hatch style play before gas, which I would support. Ooh, the drone got an SCV kill, which will delay construction on that natural base. Rams likes that a lot. Or maybe you're sarcastically cheering for it. I don't actually know. I mean, you can still harass with slowlings if you're Zerg here. Against Terran especially, you show up with 6 slowlings. This would be hard to handle for the Terran player, but I don't think we're going to do that. He is doing... Wait, hold on. It's a macro hatch. Okay, so not a third base, but a macro hatch before gas. I'm fine with this. The Terran player went for a fast expand. He can't really kill you anytime soon. I wouldn't worry about it if I was Sziky. I've seen Sziky play some incredible games against Protoss. I don't know that I've cast a ZVP with him yet. So I'm excited to see what he does for us here today. Hit that like button if you're excited for this GOSU Gamers replay, because I know I certainly am. Also hit the like button if you're just appreciating the content during this kind of worldwide shutdown to deal with COVID-19. I know a lot of you people are home. Some of you are working from home. Some of you are just home getting paid. Some of you are home not getting paid, which totally sucks, and I feel for you. I don't know. Regardless, I just hope these casts can keep your mind off of your troubles and be entertained by old school StarCraft, because I know it entertains me to cast them. Bunker finishes, like, right in the darn near nick of time. That was close, man. Now this ling's not doing anything. These lings aren't getting through. Yo, it's 2 lings up here, but regardless, they're not getting anything accomplished either. These lings going for the run-by, and you know what? 2 of them, one of them makes it in. And he gets the scout. So he sees 2 barracks, which he could have intuited based on the fact there are these many Marines out. He doesn't see a factory. He definitely sees gas. These lings are trying to kill this SCV, but it should make it safely back to the bunker. And things are good at this stage. We've taken our gas if you're a Zerg player. You're getting a lair if you're the Zerg player. You're getting a second gas, which indicates we're going to go for Mutalisks here from Sziky. So nothing too crazy. I got to say, what would be GOSU? You know what I'd like to see? Ultralisk drops. Like a 9-minute Ultralisk drop. Can you get Ultralisk drops in 9 minutes? I bet you can. I bet if you rush it and you just get all the gas in the entire world that you can, like at least 2 geysers, maybe 3, It's just the upgrades take so long. The upgrades take so long. That's something I always notice when I'm playing Zerg and Brood War is, my gosh, the upgrades take forever. But they're totally worth it. Been playing Phantom mode, actually, out on the YouTube streams on Sunday. By the way, I'm streaming on YouTube every Sunday in the United States at 3 p.m. Eastern. For some reason, last week, it didn't put that in the subscription box of the people, so not many people showed up compared to what is normal, and it bummed me out. So, if you want to watch me cast live Brood War, well, not necessarily live Brood War, but live cast it, where you can make comments, and I'll respond to the comments and whatnot, then make a note, 3 p.m. Eastern, figure it out if you're in Europe, I guess. I don't know, or like in Australia and New Zealand, I suppose. We'll get there. But yeah, check it out. Just right here, youtube.com/Falcon Paladin. I'll be here whether or not it notifies you of that fact or doesn't notify you of that fact. But anyway, the point is Phantom mode is a big free-for-all style of thing where everybody's allied at the beginning, and you have to figure out one of the players is getting more resources, significantly more resources than anybody else. And that makes them dangerous, and they're the Phantom player. You have to figure out who they are before they kill everyone. It's tons of fun. We've had the Phantom win. We've had the Phantom just barely lose. We've had the Phantom crush before. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and one of the things that I do generally in those games is just get as big an army as I possibly can, because I can't be the Phantom because I'm streaming this, right? And if I'm the Phantom, then people know, and it ruins the whole thing. So I'm just like, you know what? No one's going to try to kill me early, because that would tip everybody off they're the Phantom. So I just macro up like crazy, get a ton of Ultras and Lings, and just the upgrades, man. The upgrades take forever. But again, having fully upgraded Ultras and Lings is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Big fan. So anyway, these Lings are trying to delay this little push of Marines and Medics into the front door here of Sziky. He's got 9 Mutas on the way, and he's holding the front with 3 Sunkens, as you want to do. On the other side, just making sure a Zergling run-by doesn't kill him. These Marines in this bunker are for that purpose. And just denying Sziky a 3rd base, I think is going to work out pretty well here. He's thinking about taking a 3rd down here, but he's really worried about this roving group of Marines and how they could ruin his day. You can't get in here from up here. That'd be ridiculous. If you drop, sure, but walking up here and winning would be dumb. I'm pretty sure that is 100% contained, because otherwise that'd be stupid. All right, so the Marines have moved away. I kind of feel like it's expand time, Sziky. Let's take that 3rd. It's a little bit late, my friend. Lurker aspect on the way for the Zerg player. Working on a starport now. Going to be for those science vessels, which you need. Ooh, nice actual... Bam, that was a lot of Marines down for our 9-10 Mutalisks that we have out here. So far, so good out of Sziky. I'm liking it. He's got map control now. Although if all these Marines moved out, absolutely not map control anymore. The Mutas, I don't think, could kill all of these Marines before they died. Going after this bunker is interesting. Is there? Oh, there's no one in the bunker. Get in the bunker. Why are you not in the bunker? All right, well, bunker's dead. Odd. And finally, the 3rd base gets started here from Sziky. He's got his lair, obviously, because he's got Mutalisks. Any sign of a Queen's Nest? I don't see one, but we're going to get Lurkers first. Don't you worry about it, Zerg fans. We'll do what we need to do. Prop. A couple Mutas dying. Not looking good. There's only 6 remaining. Wow, way more Mutas have died in the last minute or so than I thought had. Okay, well, Terran, I'd assume, is up here. Rams is doing pretty well with his 250 APM. Sziky's at 350. Science facility about complete. Missile turret count. Pretty hefty, considering the number of Mutas that are out here. What's the last game I cast on this? I want to say it was like Savior versus Haya or something. That was a really fun game too. That had a bunch of Wraiths and Devourers. So maybe that's what we get. Wraiths and Devourers. That'd be cool. I'd be acceptable with that. These Mutas, if you go in there, it's kind of a death trap, guys. Yeah, death. Death trap, y'all. Good escape. Way to sneak on out of there. 3rd base is done. Is there double gas on this base? There's double gas on this base. This might be a Zerg-favored map. Oh, is that a 2nd ramp you have to worry about? No, there's nothing down here. No, you don't. All right, cool. That is really cool. Longinus, double gas base. You can take it as your 3rd if you're a Zerg. I guess Protoss and Terran can do the same thing, but that's incredibly beneficial for Zerg right there. I like it. I like it a lot. Upgrades coming in for the Terran. He's already got +1 attack. He's working on +2 attack and +1 armor. The Mutas, I don't think have any upgrades. They don't, nor are there any coming in. Drones! Oh, that a lot of drones? That might have just been 2 drones. Oh, this third base is in trouble if Rams figures out it's here because there's no defense for it. Wait. Oh, never mind. 2 lurkers did manage to burrow themselves at the top of the ramp, as is tradition. Didn't see those guys. That is secured against a goodly number of bio. Not until tanks come out is that really going to be threatened. And tanks are on the way. Tanks are out. Siege mode coming in here too. There's your Queen's Nest from Sziky around 10 minutes. What's he going to do with his tier 3 tech? I don't know. Probably going to get adrenal glands though, that's for sure. Maybe go ultras. I like ultras quite a bit. Guardians are not something I'm a huge fan of in general. I just feel like they're too slow and too squishy to be super viable. And the fact that we barely see them in casts at all indicates to me they're not very good. I mean, they're not as bad as the Scout, where... Did you watch the game between Royal Alchemist and Lunal that I posted a couple weeks ago? That was a really fun game. It's actually, the build is called the Royal Stove. You might have heard of it before. But bottom line, the goal is to make a Scout first in PvT and make your Terran opponent think you're bad. And then go into something that's more standard, which is hilarious that the Scout is only ever used to make your opponent think you're bad. How's that? Anyway, everyone's dead. Just get out of there, man. The lurkers showed up. Tanks are here, though. And the lurkers have to get out now. All the muters are done. I think the age of Mutalisk is over. Don't have to worry about those guys much anymore. But a lot of the bio is dead. As the lurkers got some serious kills there. Big drop in the main, though. I would recommend... Extractor's fine, I guess. Not really focusing anything is the problem. But you get the Extractor, which is cool. And then the dropship just leaves you all to die. Because there's Hydras, man. She doesn't want to get killed by Hydralisks. That'd be a bummer. Be terrible stuff. Hive in production now from Sziky. Lurkers are trying to jump on top of these tanks and these Marines, but it's so hard to do. There's your scan. See, that's the trick. You wait until the lurkers start to burrow, and then you scan. And then the lurkers all die en masse. A lot of your bio is going to die there too, unfortunately. But, I mean, it's worth it to trade 4 or 5 Marines for a lurker in the long run. Tell you what. You don't want that lurker ball to get too big. For sure. So, Defiler Mound coming in. This is probably enough to handle this, if I had to guess. Yeah. I mean, even if you're scanning, if you're right on top of the tanks, bad things are going to happen to the tanks from these lurkers. Tank backs out. So, pretty good micro here. Another drop. Dropping right on top of Sunkens, though, is not necessarily a great landing zone, Rams. And he's forced to pick up and retreat with his few remaining forces. 4 Marines, 6 Marines, 2 of which are pretty significantly injured there. Terran player still doesn't have a third, although he did just build a command center inside of his main. He's going to lift it off and toss it down here, it looks like. The mineral-only expansion, though. No Sunkens here, but there are enough Lings, and there's a lurker, so maybe get out. And Rams does. So, let's see. He's retaking his gas in his main. What does he need? I guess, feasibly, you could just go Zergling, Lurker, Hydra, Defiler. He's researching Consume, as you want to do. I just don't know what else. You need something else, right? I like the Science Vessel being very careful of the Scourge. Nice! That was a Flash-esque target on those Scourge from those Marines. Irradiating lurkers in the ground, and this is how you play it, man. A lot of Science Vessels. He's not making any more, which I think is a mistake. You definitely want to have like 5 or 6 Science Vessels if you want to be like Flash, and who doesn't want to be like Flash? He's so cool. Scourge, never mind. They do get a Science Vessel there. A little bit sloppy as Rams, but that's okay. He's got more Science Vessels in production. And all these Sunkens are getting taken out. Actually building a 4th base now like that from Rams. Looking good. This is kind of feeling like your fairly standard TVZ, although Dark Swarm is now. And that's when you just pull back. There you go. Reaction time needs to be a little bit faster if you're going to jump into a Dark Swarm scenario. Or rather, Dark Swarm is thrust upon you as it was here. And this is going to force the Terran player back. This is why you have the Science Vessels. You irradiate the Lurkers, you irradiate the Defilers, so Dark Swarm Lurker is not really a thing anymore. Yeah, the good thing about Lurkers under Dark Swarm is their direct damage is negated, but their splash damage is not. to targets inside the Dark Swarm anyway. Targets outside the Dark Swarm are not protected. So we got the Science Vessels in here. Do we have any Irradiates available? Not really. Oh, there's one. One available. So you're going to get the Defiler. Great choice there. And the Zerg player has been kind of so defensive. He hasn't really been able to take a 4th base, which he needs to do. Like now. His opponent is going to be on 4 bases here. And if he's on 3 bases, I don't know what he does. Unless it's some of the best Defiler, Lurker, Dark Swarm, GOSU micro of all time. Ah, the Scourge second thought it. They second guessed themselves. They did get 1 hit, though. Oh, and another one. All right. We're taking Science Vessels down. Zyky's doing what he needs to do to win this game. Keep that Science Vessel count low. And just keep it going with the Dark Swarm. And suddenly your opponent's tank count, at least at the front door, is nothing. Nice Scourge hit there again. Science Vessel 1. Tanks 2. Yeah, it's not looking great from Rams. I think the better trades have been made by Sziky here. That said, again, 3 bases. Trying to send a drone down to take a 4th, but it is so far away from home. And therefore so hard to defend as a Zerg player. Especially if all this pressure keeps coming at you from the Terran. He's just running. He's like, this is way too much. I can't even deal with this without Dark Swarm. And so in StarCraft 2, there's an upgrade that allows Lurkers to burrow more quickly and unburrow more quickly. Can you imagine that upgrade in Brood War and how unbalanced it would be? You could jump on these dudes and burrow in an instant and everything would die. That said, if they want to stand and fight, you don't actually have to burrow that quickly at all. Oh, he had it! Oh, he had it, and he went back. Zyky's been second-guessing his Scourge hits today. And there's the Irradiate on the Defiler. So 4th base coming up from the Zerg player down south. He's getting Adrenal Glands. He's getting Plague, a Wraith in production. Actually, multiple Wraiths in production. They're going to go, oh, Cloaked Wraith attack on the drones. That's a lot of dead bio, mind you. That said, it is 138 to 91 total supply. Rams is up. And let the Cloaked Wraith harass begin. I guess this is our life now, say the Wraiths. But detection shows up. Overlords don't have speed, but they're in close proximity anyway. Oh, careful. Don't just fly over the Hydras, though. That's bad. No, not a good place to set up. Rams, I don't support this positioning at all. The Hydras not have the range upgrade? Man, Wraiths are so tissue paper. They die to everything. It is chitinous plating. All right, so we are going Ultras, as the Ultralisk Cavern would indicate anyway. It still feels like Rams is in a very significantly advantageous position. Another Wraith down. This Wraith getting chased away by Hydras. It's 160 to 109 supply, guys. I don't know, Zyky. I like you a lot. I do. I like that you have Ultras and your opponent mostly has Marines. That seems really good for you. Lurker's continuing to try to get damage here, which... I mean, if you can Dark Swarm the front door of your opponent's base and then Lurker, that's not bad under any stretch of the imagination. 4th base under assault, and Rams is heading down to wipe it out. Zyky. Sziky, look out. You can't lose your 4th base here. I don't know how you're going to recover unless these Lurkers just destroy Ram's natural base and kill all of these SCVs, which I don't necessarily see happening. He still has the Defiler, though. He can talk. There you go. Pop up, pop up. Lurker, Lurker. He does siege the natural. Okay, so he irradiates the Defiler, but the Lurkers are going to be here for some time. Meanwhile, the 4th base of Sziky does go down, as was prophesied. These SCVs should probably get out of here, I would recommend. Yeah, I mean, we're hitting these guys. They're not killing them instantly or anything, but... SCVs are starting to go down. It is 47 to 45 workers, and the Ultras arrive. Okay, if these guys can hold this long enough... Ooh, he gets up there behind the mineral line, and now there are bigger things to worry about, literally, because the Ultralisks are here. They are getting irradiated, which means they're taking damage and doing damage to their own Zergling buddies, but also doing damage to the SCVs. That SCV line, though, taking some hits, man. 40 SCVs, all of these workers going down. This Ultralisk has only 2 kills, but I feel like the residual damage The irradiation damage from the irradiate probably killed more units, friendly and enemy. This is another base that Rams has. No, he's already had this one. He's taking a 5th and down here, though. That's pretty good. Yeah, Ultralisks versus straight-up Marines? No, not going to happen, especially when they have that much armor. They don't even have full armor yet. The Marines have 3 attack and 1 armor, but even still... Oh, it is Battle Cruiser. We do get Battle Cruiser here. I'm on board. I'm on board with Battle Cruiser when your opponent's going Ultra Lurker Ling. None of that stuff can hurt Battle Cruisers at all, it turns out. Here's the thing, Ultras. If you're irradiated, you really got a kamikaze in there. That Lurker got irradiated, though. I was going to say, it needs to move down somewhere. Ling's clearing out the Spider Mines for the Lurkers and the Ultralisks, which is fine. Scourge accomplished nothing there. Well defended by Rams here at the 21-minute mark of the match. There was a drop attempt over in the main, but I don't think it accomplished much of anything because there's a bunch of Lings here, and the dropship is empty. And I don't see any buildings that are bleeding except for the spawning pool, kind of. So it's 45 to 28 workers. Sziky's making a comeback. He is making one of the comebacks for the ages here with his Ultras and his Lings. And again, how you deal with Ultras as Terran is just have a bajillion tanks and go mech. Rams decides Battle Cruiser is the way to go instead, and I believe that's what gave us the GOSU Gamers tag, is the presence of Battle Cruisers in a TVZ. It's just not something we see all the time. Oh, this Ling Conga line is getting massacred by the +3 Marines. And the Dark Swarm does protect from air attacks too. So the Ultras are entirely protected as long as they're inside the Dark Swarm. The Battle Cruisers are unconcerned about this. We're just going to let these Ultras run free inside the main base if you're cool with that. I mean, the Lurkers are more of a problem than anything else. SCV's getting taken down. Marines getting absolutely massacred. This one got irradiated. This one's still alive. Is still a bit of a problem. The Battle Cruisers come home? They did. Yeah, I mean, the Battle Cruiser here is going to do 25 damage per hit, which is going to 2-shot these Lings quite easily, and if they're already bruised, 1-shot them, which I don't think counts as a 1-shot, but you know what I mean. He's going to rack up the kills. He's already got 11. Going to radiate on the Zergling, though, kind of harming his buddies. More Ultras coming on in. Again, we're 3-basing this for Sziky. The good thing is he's wrecked Ram's economy to the point that it doesn't matter. He's only on 3 bases. Well, this is an interesting scene. Lifting the barracks so the Ultras can't kill them. Irradiating the Ultras and then letting the Battle Cruisers finish them off over time. Meanwhile, a drop at the Naturals getting some stuff done from Rams. Good hold there. 85 to 85 supply. We are dead even across the board right now. If these medevacs stand on the tramp and hold position, that messes up the pathing for the Ultras, and I think that could have gone really, really well for the Terran player. That said, the 5th base is under assault, and there's no defense here whatsoever. So that's a liftoff, and these SCVs just need to run for their lives, which, surprisingly, they're not bad at. There's another Ultralisk falls to the poison that is Irradiate. And if you've watched Chernobyl, you know what kind of a poison radiation can be. Man, I saw a thing the other day, like Marie Curie's lead-lined casket is on display in France. And yeah, like it's still giving off enough radiation to be lethal. Crazy. Radiation's bad news, guys. Don't mess with it. Makes me feel like it's a ghost attack when these irradiated Ultras are in here. They're just all glowy and indistinct. This Ultra is like, wait, what do I kill? This, that, the other thing? Huh? Maybe I'd... Oh. Ah, he survived the irradiate and got smashed in the face by the Battle Cruiser instead. Another attempted base from Sziky. I think Rams may have just won this game. I don't want to call it early. I'm not going to call it early, but he's reestablished his third and his fourth bases. His fifth base is alive because nothing killed it because Ultras can't shoot up. And he's just still making battle cruisers. Although, if this comes down to it, the reason we don't see battle cruisers versus Zerg generally is because Scourge exists. Did I say Scourge? I meant Zerg. Against Zerg is that Scourge exists. Kind of rhymes. Fourth base established from Sziky again. Scourge, just battle cruisers are slow-moving big targets, and Scourge do a ton of damage to them, 125. And it adds up real fast. And is a cost-efficient trade for these behemoth 300 gas battle cruisers. Nice plague, though. Okay. Plaguing all of these battle cruisers and all of these science vessels is awesome. No, 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 no. Don't repair them while they're plagued. It just drains resources off of your income. All right, well, northern base taken by Sziky too. It's a bit of a silent, quiet moment here as the fifth base of Rams gets taken down. Oh, amazing. What a match so far. And feel free to check out the Falcon Paladin Hour. It is a weekly podcast featuring myself and Somicron. We talk about the COVID-19 crisis, talk about upcoming video games and TV shows that we've been watching, including Westworld, including Game of Thrones when that was a thing. Watched Legion on FX, talked about that quite a bit. If you're interested in hearing Falcon talk about other things, then check out the Falcon Paladin now, or just search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app. Meanwhile, there's still not really an answer to these battle cruisers. I'm just going to say that here. The Mutalisk was trying to take down the Science Vessel because it has 3 HP, but it got wiped out by the BCs first. So it's not really an ideal style situation. And another hatchery down. I think that's the second time a hatchery has died today. Sounds about right. Lurkers going after Ram's third base. Doing a pretty good job, if you ask me. And the northern base of Sziky under attack here, too. So we had a nice little drone lead, like 50 to 31, but suddenly these two Marines show up and all these drones are in a lot of trouble. Lurkers getting wiped out by Marines, very bravely, by the way. I'm just going to point that out. They're extremely brave Marines. Oh, wow. Did those drones just kill those Marines? They sure did. I mean, what do they got? 3 armor? They've got 2 armor, which is not bad, but then the battle cruisers arrive, and we do have some Scourge, but the Scourge still need to hit the BCs, and the Marines are covering them pretty effectively. Yeah, I think Sziky's done a pretty good job just being everywhere that Rams wants to be. Taking down bases, killing SCVs. It's only 36 right now for Rams, but yet another hatchery is going to go down up north here. There's just not enough to protect it, and this ramp is pretty well covered by the Terran army. So Sziky says, if I can protect my bases, then I will very, very happily take yours down. Thank you for asking. Nice Dark Swarm, a little bit late. Some Lings die early because of that situation. Once again, the Ultralisk undecided about whether or not to kill these barracks or not. I really feel like killing the starports would be a massive advantage for Sziky, but he seems to be going after the barracks instead, which is not a bad target. I'm not telling him not to do that. It's just not as important as getting rid of the starports, or maybe just the control towers, right? The control towers would mean you can't build any more science vessels. Oh, those Scourge went down. You heard those Scourge dying. None of them hit these battle cruisers at all, I don't think. One of them is fairly injured, but I'm not sure if that's from something else. Some of these barracks are actually burning down in the process. These 2 Ultras are irradiated. It's time to go. Extra damage versus these Marines. Oh, yeah. Ultra is going to die with about 7 kills, which is not a bad number. Not at all, really. Another base getting hit by Sziky. This... Yeah, this is a GOSU game. This has just been absolutely nonstop back and forth for 30 minutes so far. Crikey, mate. Hit that like button if you've been entertained at the very least. Lings and Ultras wiping out the SCV line here at the 9 o'clock position for Rams. Dude, and the Dark Swarm is up. The battle cruisers are attacking. The Ultras are under the Dark Swarm. Ultras that come out of the Dark Swarm have a bad time. Again, the SCV count is just getting absolutely mangled by Sziky here today. Nice Plague again tossed down on these battle cruisers. Another wonderful Dark Swarm is up here too. Ultralisk hiding inside the Dark Swarm. Another Dark Swarm comes up. Oh my gosh, this is insanity right now. Ultra, get back in the Dark Swarm. You're gonna die. Ah, he does get taken down. But Rams has been pushed back into a corner that I don't know he can escape from. This has been such an incredible back and forth match. I guess the other reason we don't see BCs all that much in TVZ is because Dark Swarm exists and renders them entirely impotent versus anything on the ground. Ultra's not quite sure what to do with his life. As happens sometimes with Ultras, he gets wiped out by Marines. Zergling trying to jump on this. Again, this is not a very big group of SCVs that Ram still has. Losing any of these is bad news for him. It's 48 to 18 workers. Rams might just need to go. He has a much bigger army than Sziky does right now, but his economy's in the toilet. We've seen games like this where the player who has an army but not an economy decides just to go for it, and they win because they have the bigger army. And in the end, if you kill all your opponent's buildings, it doesn't matter how good their economy was, you know? That said, I don't know. Sziky's continuing to produce units here. He's been tossing down some really nice plagues. A bunch of these this battle cruiser's at 3 HP, which is horrible. 2 of these science vessels are at 2 HP as well. This base desperately trying to mine for Rams. It is one of his only sources of income. In fairness, his natural, it still has mineral patches. It is very close to being mined out, but it's still a source of income at this moment. Another problem with these battle cruisers is they're just so slow moving, and the Zerg army can be a lot of places. Oh, focus the battle cruisers, though. There you go. Focus is a battle cruiser. Ultra's on the ground, wiping the ground army out. These 2 battle cruisers are still alive enough to keep fighting. More Radiates coming in here, too. I'm telling you, this game is going to come down to it. It's going to come down to the Terran player who just has enough army of science vessels and battle cruisers that he's going to be able to win this thing. It's going to be nuts. Again, I don't know. I haven't cast this game before. I haven't seen it before. I haven't heard about it before. This one Ultralisk trying to accomplish things. No. Again, the bad pathing kind of screwing him over. Sziky hasn't, I was going to say, hasn't taken a base in a while, but just kidding. He's got a base here in the bottom left. Zerglings from Sziky running into Ram's natural base to try to wipe it out. There are, again, several SCVs here. We're down to 13 SCVs. We're going to go further down to about 10 if everything goes right here for Sziky. Oh, drone train! Drone train massacred. Sziky still has 41 drones, but that hurts. That was several workers that got killed, heading to a brand new source of income, which is also going to die. So, Lings on the production facilities again. Generally, it's considered a bad thing if there is enemies sitting on your production facilities, but Rams has been in this position about 4 times today, and he's still alive. Sort of. He has 6 SCVs remaining. The battle cruisers are doing work. 32 kills and 20 kills each. Again, irradiating the Ultras just makes them more effective against your Marines, it turns out. But it does help kill them faster. Oh, they ran into a Sunken, though, who is happily helping murder all of those things. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of science vessels and a couple battle cruisers here. Boxer maneuver! One of the science vessels goes down. Another science vessel goes down. They're trying to boxer maneuver when there are 2 spores here, which is not a recommended practice. I gotta say, he just has too much income. He's retaken the 12 o'clock base. He's got this base down here that is still technically providing income for him. He's retaken the one in the middle on the right side. Rams just doesn't have anything left. is the issue. And even if he kills this base, again, northern base is fine. Base just south of that is fine. And Sziky's macro has been good enough that he's just continuing to produce stuff. He's continuing to produce things. He's going after the remaining workers of Rams because he knows he has 5 SCVs left. Just kidding, he has 4 SCVs left. He has 3 SCVs left. Ultras are absorbing Widow Spider Mine shots. Their radiates are real, and this is looking really bad for Rams. This has been such a back and forth game, though I hesitate to call it. But Rams has 2 SCVs. He has 2 SCVs. He has 1 battle cruiser remaining. I was going to say he has a couple Marines, but he has no Marines. I think that's your ball game. And Sziky's going to win your GOSU Gamers replay today. Oh, gosh. Science Vessel down to the Spore because it didn't have any HP left. Rams with the GG and the Scourge with the final blow to wrap it up in 35 minutes and 56 seconds. Hit that like button if you enjoyed that match. I had a ton of fun casting it. Holy smokes. Good golly, Miss Molly. That was a match. Again, Sziky doesn't have a massive army right now. I mean, what does he have? He has, you know, almost a page of Lings. He has 2 Ultralisks over here. Got some Lings down here. Got some Lings over here. Got some Lings cruising up. Another Ultralisk with his face stuck in a corner. What are you doing over here, man? You can't actually kill rocks, turns out. Yeah, he doesn't have a giant army, but 41 drones to no SCVs will do it pretty much every time. Yeah, just nonstop action. This is a reason you don't see battle cruisers all that much in ZVT, is because eventually the Lings and the Ultras will trade well enough, you know, with some Scourge in the mix to make sure the battle cruisers are worried for their lives, that it doesn't really matter. How you want to handle Ultras as a Terran is going to be just going full mech with a million tanks with upgrades, and then the Lings and Ultras try to attack into them, and they all die. Traditionally, that is how that works. Well done. Well done, Sziky, though, getting a win here. Love this guy. Again, great player. Great representative of the country of Hungary. End of the day, 250,000 points for Sziky, 225,000 for Rams. 795 Zerg units produced, ended up killing 500 Terran units. Not a good ratio if you're trying to win a game if you're Terran. Structures raised, both players doing some good work, but Sziky not doing too bad. 24 structures raised over the course of 35 minutes, and then just more gas mine, more minerals mine, and more total spent. There was a point in time in the match where Rams had the better economy, where Sziky was on effectively 2 bases. Rams was on 3, getting a 4th, but Sziky was able to continuously harass and take down SCVs and force liftoffs of command centers while desperately trying to expand himself, losing 1 or 2 bases along the way. Incredible. Good use. Good use of Ultras and Lings and everything else. Amazing. Great game. But that has to be it from me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a GOSU Gamers Replay Pack. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.